Hi and welcome back. Okay, so in this part, which I think is part 8, what I'm going to do is continue our enterprise of detailing stuff. And at the moment we have this section here. So what I'm going to do is just pull it out and detach it just as a clone, and I'll call it the gun area. And what we need to do first is define where the gun area is. Now remember, the image I had, the rendering kind of shows where the gun area is. So what I'm going to do is select this piece and just move it over here. Remember, I don't move my pivots if I can help it. Makes things a little bit easier for slamming it back into place again. Okay, now if I look at this area here, what I can see is I want the area in question for the gun to be inside this here. So I'm going to do a connect. I'm going to slide this all the way up, so it's going to be about -55. Click OK. Now I'm going to do it again, but in the opposite direction for down here. Click OK. Now if I look at the overall width, that's actually a little bit too wide. Now you notice I want some additional space at the bottom, even though the gun's not actually as big as this gap here. And that's just that I've got room for the mounting and so on. So I want to go here and just do a ring. And here and do a ring. Then I can do a connect. And change the slide to 0. Click OK. Now that's going to mean that I can get rid of some of this stuff that I don't need over here. But I'll get rid of that later. I was going to do it now, but I thought, well, let's just get into it. So now let's just box out the parts that I don't want to keep. There we are. And now I have a templated piece that I can use to actually build the surround for where the gun is. Now I've got to be quite careful because you can see down here I've got this kind of skirting, this kind of ablative armor thing, and I don't want to use that too much up here because we don't want to impede the movement of the gun. I mean, the guns are chunky as hell, and we want them to look cool, and we also want them to be able to swerve around and shoot stuff. Okay, right, and there's my coffee. Just arrived. Okay, what I'm going to do is look at detailing that I can use on this part here and this part here, and obviously I'm going to do them separate. So let's just cut it in half because we only need this bit anyway, and then we can duplicate it on that side. So in here, looking at the shape again, not really interested in the inside part yet. I'm going to do an inset by about 0.5. Okay, I'm going to do a bevel down and in, so a height of -0.25, outline height of -0.25. Bring it in. Now an inset of 0.2, and then a bevel. Just invert the height on it, just to bring it back up. Okay, and that kind of pushes that out a bit. Now we don't want to bring this out too much, so I'm going to extrude of about 0, which isn't very much at all. Bring that out to about there, like that. And I'm going to bring these in just a little, like so. Now if we look, the problem I've got there is, yeah, because it's uneven in shape, it's bringing out more at the top than it is at the bottom. Let's see if doing this on local is going to assist at all. It probably isn't. No, it's not. Okay, we'll do this via view. And what I'll do is I'll manually move in that piece. Use the move tool. Now here we have some excess verts that I don't really want anyway, so just move in here. Backspace to remove them. Same goes with these. Okay, now let's have a look at that, and that's straighter and much nicer. Okay, that's fine. Now inside this, if I just look at this part, what I'm going to do is run a line from here all the way down by doing a connect straight down the middle. And then a small chamfer, like that. Now again, I don't especially want these edges here, so let's kill them off. If I can get in close enough to kill them off, that is. And there, and there. That one, that one, that one. Whoops, that one. Isn't this exciting? Selecting edges. Just think of all the other things you could be doing tonight. Okay, and backspace. And then get rid of the verts. There we go. And that actually straightens it up quite a lot anyway. Now in here, hello house water system. I'm going to press connect. Then I'm going to chamfer this. Nice and wide. That'd help to see how wide. There we are, that should do it. Click OK, and now do an extrude. And I want to do a negative extrude. Oh, hang on, I'm extruding it by edge, my mistake. I want to extrude it by polygon. And bring the extrusion in, like so. And that leaves that surface there. Okay, which goes in. Pleasing looking shape. Okay, now for these top parts here, this is just simple paneling for the main reason that I explained earlier. So what I'll do is I'll just do them like this. Quick insert, quick bevel, make this a negative. Another quick insert, and then another bevel. Remember, we're keeping it uniform, so if we've done it on the bottom parts, we want to make sure we do it on the top parts. These guys are supposed to be, you know, technologically well advanced of us. Now we can actually jump across and use this bit too if we want, just to be, you know, adding a little variation to it. So, inset, bevel it in, insert, and bevel it out. Click OK. Press F4 just to check the shape. There we go. It's got some good shape going on there. Now what I'm going to do is mirror this as a copy on the Y coordinate, which I'm then going to reset, and then I'm going to select everything, and then I'm going to flip it. I do it different ways just to amuse myself sometimes. Now with angle snap on, rotate it 90 degrees, and then we can clip these fellows together. Like that. And then if I just grab the edges, press F4 so I can see where they are. Actually, I can just select them all because there's no really tiny detail in here. There we go, and that's that all connected together. Okay, so with that part done, now we can look at the inside of this, just to get kind of some handles on how big the inside is going to be. Now, the easiest way to do that, if we're looking at it from this angle, is I'm going to grab here and here. Now, if I go to my front view first, just to check I've got the right pieces, I'm going to hold down Shift, just drag it this way. Then I'm going to do my scale tool, like that. And I just need to align the bottom first. Now then, we're going to go to vert mode. There's my vert just there. Now I'm going to move this vert. And then finally I'm going to move, I need to press F3 to find this one, this vert, until they're all overlapping each other. Okay, now that I've got one edge, I can do all the other edges pretty much automatically. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click bridge. I'm going to bridge from here to here, and then again, like so. Alright, now for the bottom and top, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click that button there, and cap, and then this one here, cap. That gives us this kind of platformy part here. Now I want to raise this platform a little bit, so I'm going to be careful how I do that. I'm going to quickly have a look at this, get a gauge of the overall shape. You'll notice I'm not really too fussed about filling in and making sure all my polygons click together. That's not really too much of a concern for me. You'll notice it all still works. Okay, what I want to do is grab this edge first, go up here, and use my connect. I'm going to slide it to around about there. I know roundabout isn't really a measurement. It's near enough. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this bottom part, like so. And I'm going to go here to my edge select, grab this edge, hold shift and just drag this across until that part and that part line up. Just there. Now I can go into my view here just to make sure they do. Press F3 so I can see them. Control and select by vert, and now I can line the verts up exactly, which helps a great deal. Okay, zoom out again. So now I've got this in the right place. I can recap this area here. And what I'll do, just to make it so that our polygon doesn't bend or anything, I'm just going to cut from this corner to here. There we go. Okay, next I want to fill in this part. Not all of it, just a little bit. So I'll go here, here and here. And across here I'm going to do a connect, and I'm going to raise it up to about 70 this time. Now what I'm going to do is knock out these three, and then grab this edge here and just pull it out. Now you remember how we did this before. Vert mode, oops, wait, hang on. Control into vert mode, and drag that to there. Put back into perspective. Grab there and do a quick weld. And now we can do some bridging. There we go, and that kind of closes that part off. And now we've got plenty of room to be doing an actual turret that comes out of here. Now I want to do the same again at the top, but I'm going to lower it slightly more this time. Pull back a bit. And I'm going to do a connect and make it a little bit less than that. About there should do. Now, I'm going to wipe out this part, and this part, this part. And again, it's still pretty much similar to what we just did before. Shift and just drag that across. And then get into the right viewport. There it is. Control, select by vert. Just move them into the right place. Okay, now quick marquee drag there and then click weld. And we're nearly ready to move these up now. Let's have a look. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab here and drag this across. And we just did this before, so it should be easy enough for you. I'm just going to control vert select, move the first vert over to here, so it lines up, and then the second vert I'm going to move back to about here. Okay, drop into perspective. And now if I grab this part, I can weld it. And that means I can now do a bridge just over here. Okay, now over here, I'm going to do another bridge. And then one here. And then down here, we get to fill in two little holes. One, two, just cap those off. And then delete these edges. One, and two. Okay, and that's built that kind of podium-like area inside of this. Right, now, as I'm not going to detail this part immediately, because I want to build the gun and then build the mountings, remember it's important, don't just build a space and then expect a gun to fit, you have to do it the other way around in sci-fi. Functionality, remember, follows the form in sci-fi as opposed to the other way around. So, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to get rid of these parts. Now I'm going to take this part here and I'm going to move it into the correct place. You see, at the moment it looks like some sort of a crazy mad robot, you know, or some sort of big fat mad clown with its hands on its tummy. Robot death thing, which is cool. Okay, now I'm going to attach this in. And I'm not going to bother, so I've attached it to the wrong bit. I'm not going to bother trying to make all the verts weld together at the moment. You can do that, I'm sure, if you even want to. But overall, I'm quite pleased with that shape. So in the next part, we're going to start building the gun. Till then, thanks for watching. See you in the next bit.